We are sitting here because we are going to reminisce about the 25 years of magic. So Nick, let me kick off by asking you a question. So how did it all begin?
Well, Morris, we know the story, you know it, but many people don't. It was a series of fortunate coincidences. I'd left the Wits Business School, and I met at a dinner Johan van Zyl, who was the Vice Chancellor of the University of Pretoria, over drinks, and then by fluke we sat next to each other and we talked over dinner. And he asked me to come and see him that week. I was leaving for the US on Friday. That was Saturday night. I went to see him on the Tuesday, and he said, "We want you to come and work with us." And I couldn't think where I would fit into the University of Pretoria. After the end of a half an hour, he said, "Well, go away and think about it some more. Come back on Thursday with some ideas." So I did. And I walked into his office, and to my absolute amazement, he agreed with all ideas I put forward. One of which is it would be in Johannesburg, not in Pretoria. 2, it would be a new school. 3, it would have a high level of autonomy. And 4, it would be heavily focused on the practice of management. And the university were absolute champions at supporting us administratively, financially, and of course Donald Gordon came in. And so that's how it began. It began almost by a fluke with no intention from me to start a new business school.
Nicola, what is your origin story when it comes to GIBS?
Morris, I'd been working at Investec, and I was sitting at home on maternity leave thinking that babies and Investec don't go that well together, and that was through no fault of Investec. It was just, I don't think I was in that space. And I had formerly actually been at the main campus at Wits, and I got a phone call from somebody I knew at Wits to say, "Remember Nick Binedell?" I said, "Indeed, I do." She said, "He's starting a new business school. Would you be interested in teaching marketing?" And I said, "Gosh, I'd love to." My son, Robert, was about a week old at that point. I said, "Can I think about it for a little while?" And about a month later, Nick drove out to the house where I was, and we sat and had coffee, and he told me about this. And that was the beginning of one of the best relationships in my life.
My origin story at GIBS is slightly different. Obviously, I arrived halfway through the journey of magic. I came in as a student to do my doctorate here at GIBS. And our former colleague, Jonathan Cook, suggested that, I don't know if it was his idea or Helena's idea, that maybe they should give me a try at teaching, given I was bringing a different kind of experience between academia and practice. And I must say, for me, one of the things I really enjoyed about the early days of my career at GIBS was that I was welcomed so warmly and so quickly. And I wonder what role you played in making that happen, Nick, because I don't think a lot of people think of GIBS in that way, in terms of a caring place, a place that kind of embraces you and whips you up into like a really amazing space that you actually end up giving more than is expected of you when you're at GIBS. So help us to understand the underlying principles, the philosophy. What were you trying to achieve at a human level at GIBS?
You know, philosophy is something you explain to yourself after something's happened. I mean, the opportunity to do this was an opportunity of a lifetime. I'd already spent many years in the business school world, and the university just gave me a blank sheet of paper. And I was so energized, also by the fear of getting it wrong, that my behavior, and I think those who joined us in the very beginning, when there were 10 of us, were imbued with this idea: we're here for a mission to serve South African business. We're here to start something from scratch and make it different, because you'll remember we opened our doors on January 2000, Y2K, and it had to be different because there's strong business schools here. And that sort of energy level, I think, became part of it. And also, I think the people that joined me were people I knew, people like Nicola and Carl Hoffman, people I knew and I trusted and I respected. And we had no structure. We just were a team opening a business school. And I think that established something of the culture which I think endures.